Good morning to all of you present over here on this online platform. I am Vibha Joshi, professor in Department of Economics in BHU at Varanasi. And the topic I have chosen for this conference is Reinvigorating Human Capital through Reframing Education for Sustainable Society and Environment. We all know that education is a fundamental right, and it also creates the voice through which other rights can be claimed and protected. So, the object of this presentation is that I have to see the role and importance of the right education for reinvigorating human capital as the primary determinant of ecological, social, and economic development and sustainability. The methodology I have chosen for this presentation is that this presentation will discuss education, as we all know, as the essential foundation for improved human capital, with particular references to India's new national education policy, that is NEP 2020, and also the teachings of J. Krishnamurti on the right education for a sustainable society and environment. We all know that if we will see the present scenario, that there are so many things which we can see which are very good in this present economic system. We all know that there is economic development if we have to calculate in terms of per capita income, in terms of GDP. We can see that there is increase in income and wealth also. Then the life expectancy is also increasing, and you can see that this education quality, and due to education to maximum people, I will not say that everybody is getting the right kind of education and the education which he needs to be a gentle human being or a proper human being, but still there is education and the quality of life is also improving. So we can say that the overall human well-being and capabilities are increasing in this present scenario, and these are the achievements of human um, all over the world, we can say. But this is not the ultimate position, because if we will see the present scenario, there are so many things which we should concern about, because we can see that there are incidents of extreme deprivations. You can see the level of inequality, this is increasing day by day. Then, because there is inequality, there are also gaps in opportunities. And this economic development which we are achieving, actually what is the environmental and social cost of this development, we have to think about it once more. And we all can see the situation of the world right now, that there are so many conflicts at national level, at international level, at local level, at family level, right? And also conflicts within the human beings also. Your inner and outer personality is in conflict right now. There is power hunger. Sometimes we know that we want some authority, we want some control over others, and with that there is increase in insecurity and fear among the human being. So this is the present scenario. We all are witnessing that there is continuous conflict between the nations, and day by day the challenges or the dangers of increasing these conflicts are increasing. So if we will see that income, wealth, and gender inequalities often translate into inequalities in opportunities, and we all know that women, indigenous people, ethnic minorities, persons with disabilities, there are so many marginalized groups which are facing this extreme poverty in their life. Thus, according to that first quadrennial Global Sustainable Development Report, right? And if we see this report, we can see that those who have just moved out of extreme poverty and people who do not have any form of social protection remain highly vulnerable to economic and environmental crises, climate change, armed conflicts, and other shocks. And if we will see the words of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, when he says that our world as we know it and the future we want are at risk. This report actually reminds us that the future is determined what we do now and the window of opportunities is closing fast. So have to think over it that what do we want? We all want economic development with sustainability. We all want advancing human well-being, including material well-being, health, education, voices, access to a clean and safe environment, and resilience. We actually want to transform this world, but we are seeing we really don't want it, but we want a transformed world. And this is the agenda of 2030 for sustainable development in 2050. So what we can do actually, we need holistic education to change our thinking patterns, feelings for the surrounding environment, and attitudes toward our fellow humans for a sustainable society and the developed environment. Now, what is the meaning of sustainable development? If we have to see, we all know that a pattern of development that meets the needs of present generation without compromising the rights of future generation to fulfill their needs. So whenever there is need of, yeah, or we talk about sustainable development, we need cooperation, collaboration, and dialogue among multiple stakeholders. There is no single pathway, and different combinations of efforts are required across regions. And also we know that the future is determined what we do and think now. We all know the power of now. And at this present scenario, I think that education is the only thing which we have to focus once again. It is well accepted thought that health and education are not mere outcomes of economic development. However, they are the essential means of achieving the SDG, transforming the world into the desired level of sustainability. Here you can see I have given two links. One is for the presentation of my slides on new education policy, and one is the government site link. And we can, if you are eager to see this, you can go and see this and check this. And I will just tell you that new education policy 2020 provides a significant opportunity to focus on human development, enabling every student to develop to their maximum potential. The national education policy focuses on foundational literacy and numeracy with the increased focus on involving parents in education and using technology effectively to bridge the digital divide to lessen the threat of learning crisis. And that crisis after the COVID-19 pandemic severely, which has disrupted education in the world, including India. So I will move on to next slide, which is actually based on Krishnamurti. I'm much more interested in talking about J. Krishnamurti, who is a renowned philosopher and who has given his ideas on education and the present scenario of education. And when he was talking in India in 1948, he said that you know that throughout the world education has failed because it has produced the two most colossal and destructive wars in history. And since it has failed, merely to substitute one system for another seems to me to be utterly futile. And we can see that he is talking these words in 1948. He continues when he says that first of all, to understand what part education can play in the present world crisis, we must understand how the crisis has come into being. Without understanding that, merely to build on the same values, on the same ground, on the same foundation, will bring about further wars, further disasters. So, we must try investigating how the present crisis has come into being, and in understanding the causes, we will inevitably understand what kind of education we need. And if we will go through Krishnamurti's explanation about the present scenario and about the failure of the education system and all those things, we can say that Krishnamurti has given more emphasis on the transformation of the teacher as a human being. And if a teacher is a perfect human being, then he can give a right kind of education to each and every student. And if each and everybody has that right kind of education, and when he is saying this right kind of education, then we can make a world which is just good and blissful place to live in for everyone. There is no conflict, there is no continuous threat of war, there is no continuous threat of having all these disasters. It may be environmental disasters, it may be natural calamities, because when then we will have a better relationship with the surroundings, with our environment. And he says that you have to understand yourself. Krishnamurti says that wisdom begins with self knowledge, and without self knowledge, just information leads to distraction. Without self knowledge, the we can see that airplane becomes the most destructive instrument in life. But with self knowledge, it is a means of human help. So, a teacher must obviously be one who is not within the clutches of societies, who does not play power politics or seek position or authority. In himself, he has discovered that which is eternal, and therefore the teacher will be capable of imparting that knowledge which will help another to discover his own means to enlightenment. And this type of education will bring a tremendous change in the society, because the students of today are going to make the world for tomorrow. And with this, if I have to give those concluding remarks, I can say that the future is always determined by what we think and do now. We cannot change the past, but together we can make better choices. necessary to realize our dreams and ambitions for sustainable economic development with advanced and invigorated human beings in a safe environment and a peaceful world. And if you can see the future, if we all have that better understanding, then we can see that the future will be really a very good, colorful, and it will be a bliss for each and everyone. And thank you very much for listening me so patiently and with attention. And I just want to give you the name of that book by J. Krishnamurti, on which I have uh, which book I have taken for this presentation, and which I will suggest you to read, that is Educating the Educator by J. Krishnamurti. So thank you so much.